Welcome. I'm late. I'm sorry. So today we're talking about pain, pleasure, reward, punishment, and your why. Hey, social attraction. Hey, Mr. Ernie Perry. How are you doing? Hey, replay viewer. Hey, Terry Talks. How are you doing? I really enjoyed your scope. So this is going. Hey, Nikki. Hey, Terry. Hey, Mr. Ernie Perry. This is gonna be a really long session. So I'm thinking I might actually break it up in chunks just so it's a lot more digestible. Hey, Mr. Clinton Coy, how you doing? Long time no see, welcome back. I didn't know you were next. I was gonna go live and I saw you going and I was like, ooh. Yeah, it was a really great scope. Thank you so much for those purple hearts and those red hearts and those magenta hearts. I appreciate you. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. My name is Coach Nachi. I am your world-class personal development coach, speaker, and life enthusiast called to serve those who want to live more like their unique selves now, right now, this minute, right now. Hey, how are you, Clinton Coy? Welcome back to the Scope World. So, Tony Robbins. So, I'm talking today about, hey, JMTSQ, how are you doing? So, today I'm talking about pain, pleasure versus rewards, punishment versus your why when it comes to your goal. So, as you know, I'm a coach. I don't just say world-class personal development coach for fun. I have a psych background. My first degree, my bachelor's degree is in psychology and my master's is in something different. But let's start with pain pleasure, right? When we're talking about pain pleasure principle, this is something that, oh, thank you so much for that, Terry. Of course, I have to come through for you, man. It's awesome what you're doing. When you're talking about pain and pleasure, Tony Robbins talks about this quite a lot in his work. So if you're a coach or if you're in the personal development world, you know who Tony Robbins is. He is one of, our flagship gurus or whatever. And he talks a lot about using pain and pleasure to fuel you towards your goal, right? Hey, Anthony, welcome to the Scope. Okay, so you do know I'm Nikki, right? Okay. When you're talking about pain and pleasure, this is about adding pain to not accomplishing what you need to accomplish and adding pleasure to what you need to accomplish as well. So, pain and pleasure, yeah, his work is pretty good. He's massive. He's created a lot of impact in people's lives and he's pretty awesome. I like the pain pleasure principle, however, and I use it myself as a coach in my sessions with my clients, especially the pleasure part. I don't like using the pain part too much, but some people respond very well and much better to pain than they do to pleasure. So let me explain this, right? Let's anchor this in weight loss. Weight loss is something that we can all kind of anchor anything in. I think at one point or another we've either wanted to gain weight, muscle, or lose weight, or whatever it is. Hey Jimmy, how are you? Welcome to the Scope. Right? So that's what I'm going to anchor it in, but I would urge you to use whatever example you want for yourself to anchor it even deeper for yourself, okay? So in pain pleasure, hi Jimmy. In pain pleasure, if we're talking about weight loss, pain would be you not only not lose the weight that you want to lose, you in fact gain more weight, meaning the where you're at right now is the lowest weight you'll ever have. If any point from now on is going to be, what up James Smith, how are you? Nice to see you. Anything that I can't wait to eat. Like any place you're at, if anything, it's gonna get worse. It's not gonna get better. You're not even gonna maintain the weight that you're at that you don't like. That would be, for me, pain. Adding pain to not doing something about getting going. And that's effective, right? That's effective. That's like using fear of failure as a thing that propels you forward, right? And that, it works. When you use pleasure, then you start saying something like, this is something I do a lot with my clients, and this is a thing that really, really actually turns the volume all the way up on what it is that they want to accomplish. So we focus on the pleasure, right? We dwell on the possibilities. What will it look like when you reach your ideal weight? What will it look like when you XYZ, right? What will it look like when you find the partner that you want? It's all about mindset, right? You get in there, and I really, you guys don't even know. I get in my clients' heads, and I just wrestle. Anyway, so that's a little bit about how pain pleasure works. I don't like using pain pleasure all the time because it's not enough. Sometimes some people are, and this hurts me to say, I hate saying this. Sometimes we are so comfortable in our pain that we accept it. You know what I'm saying? In these instances, the pain-pleasure principle doesn't work. Where already you've doomed yourself. Already you feel that, we're talking about crippling procrastination. We let pain become our story. Exactly. Not only that, but you start living in pain. So I say we're intended to live joyfully, fully human, and feeling at home in ourselves and our lives. That's joyfully. Not living in misery, not living in squalor, not living in strife, but joyfully. Sometimes we settle for pain. Sometimes we settle for the discomfort because it's comfortable, it's familiar, right? Settling in known fears as opposed to unknown heaven. It goes so much deeper than just being stubborn, Anthony. It goes so much deeper. It goes into such things as worth, right? It goes into you believing that you are not actually worthy of the ideal weight that you want. You're not worthy. You don't think that you'll actually get to that point. So you're more comfortable in the pain, and you accept the pain more than you would accept the pleasure. And that's why using pain pleasure is something that I don't really use all the time, because of that setback where it's more comfortable sometimes to dwell in our known fears as opposed to our unknown heaven. The next thing that is then pleasure becomes something that you fear as well, right? So I couldn't stand that. The pleasure becomes something that it becomes so pleasurable that you deny yourself it. And there's people that do this, and we do this in certain parts of our life, where we deny ourselves the pleasure that we don't think we deserve that pleasure. We don't think we deserve that ideal body weight. We don't think we deserve having whatever that thing is that we want, right? We don't think we deserve it, so we don't go for it. It's too scary. That's that fear of success. Hey, Ketchy, how are you? Got him. Thank you, Mr. Ernie Perry. We don't think we deserve it. Thank you so much for inviting your followers. And whomever else invited your followers earlier, thank you so much. And retweeting on Twitter. And those hearts, they match my clothing. Yes, come through, Periscope. Thank you so much. We don't think we deserve it, and so we don't go for it. The pleasure is too great. It's overwhelming. It doesn't feel real. Now, how I do it is very different from how... Thank you for inviting your followers, Mr. Ernie Perry. How I do it is very different from... What up, Mr. Proctor? How you doing? From how I've described it, because I make sure it's something that you feel worthy of. It's... When I talk about crippling procrastination, yes, feeling unworthy. You guys still hear me? Oh, I hope this is not unsynced. Jump in and share. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Ketchy. We don't believe we're worthy. But the way I go about in using the pain-pleasure principle, predominantly the pleasure, because I don't like dealing with the pain. I will use it, because if there are any coaches in here, you understand that you need to do what you need to do to get your people to where they need to be, but you do it in a gentle way, right? Hey, Muhammad, how are you? So when I use pleasure, it's slightly different. I don't speak French. Rewards and punishment. I have a psych degree background, bachelor's in psychology, unsynced. Oh God, this sucks. Okay, that was pain and pleasure. I'm gonna come back on and talk about rewards and punishment, because I don't like this unsyncness of it all. I'll be right back. See you soon.